Like the video, thumb up the video.
Hey, Sonetta, I got a question for you. Won't you tell me why it is that the world of academia, intellectual circles, respected scientists, reputable theologians, and world-renowned thinkers and philosophers, innovators, leaders in their field, people that are actually in the labs, on the ground, in the classrooms, figuring out ways to beat diseases, advance medicine and technology, etc., why do they not have anything like the House of Consciousness?
I have become greatest of the great. I have come into being among the beings who clear the vision of his soul eye. I know why a greatest block is made for a what? A what? So never disrespect me again.
Because God, when the flood took place, 40 days, 40 nights, he allowed so much as a pig. He put a spirit on the pig. He let the women eat their own babies. Why don't you put a spirit on the Israelites and stop them from eating their own children?
Kemet on trial, title of that damn lecture. Destroyed the Hebrews with the power of our ancestors. Our clans better didn't talk or debate on Daniela. Or Zion Lex, don't hate on Kemet, y'all fans betcha. And Sonetta, bringing knowledge to the masses. With the undisputed knowledge they don't teach in classes. Kemet, Black Power Movement, do you understand? We on trial, Hebrews thought they had the upper hand. Polite killed them with that footage from the motherland. Hashar too much rah-rah, Nazi Elder Gabar. The young, y'all want stop. When is y'all gon' stop? We got tombs and mummies, y'all just got some rocks. Me and my squad illa, plus the Magi and the God Killer. Shout out to Hefshet Soot and the King Haru, the son of Amin Ra, Asepata Asa. Now Valley's here, we came to bring it home. Kim is back to claim the throne.
Okay, so I need to tell people, please, wake up. They can't show me or show the bones of anybody in the Bible. They can't show me no Hebrew. If the Hebrews built the pyramids, where did pyramids before?
Like the video, thumb up the video.
On the rock squad up, Magi archers in the building, please believe. Oh shit. If you ain't Sonetta, no time for that interview, dog. I put my shit out for niggas, I don't send it to blogs. Clan killer off the Buddha, not being discreet. One puff, this big pops and projectiles. Between the sheets. Sun run, cold game, bring your cleats. The best flow blow, Eskimo, penguin feet. Don't need no blunt to burn. You run the turf with 10 niggas on the block. That's a punt return. Ayo, Dolomite prototype soldier with the solar light. Saber and he hold it like he hold a mic. Golden ice pendants. Sipping on that overpriced poltergeist spirits. Ripping at the open mic. Spoke the nice lyrics like Mama moved mean overnight. Golden motorbike holding on some Tron shit. That nice neon kit is on it. The king's libation with exotic liqueur. The queen's vibration like a Sada Shakur. A lot of decor, imported foreign threads, they ain't got at the store. Nubian Kush and black top pottery jaws, 39% THC, the quality pure. Old rappers try to spit, ain't hot as before. It's like I'm 5 flights above, busting shots at the floor. Cats switch up their style when they ain't got it no more. Cause they gotta keep their product in stores to feed their kids. See what that weed did? Your yes man agreeing on everything we said. I smell of the mic like it's the love of my life. Don't get sliced and beat with the butt of the knife. Brother polite, I say I'm animalistic, cause I still be in the hood with my hand on my pistol. The Hebrews think I'm cannibalistic, E5 divination, channel the mystic, audio visionary. Let's play poetical Pictionary, picture me burning down your missionary. Yeah, then I send you religion. That red dot on your head, that's Hindu tradition. Invisible, independent, intrinsic shit. I'll bring it all to an end with indivisible games. Charles Xavier, getting your brain. Mental anguish or manifesting physical pain. Wisdom remains to dance in the chemical rain. Breathe slow, then I'm up out of this physical plane. Got military machinery that exercise, weaponized greenery. Shine at a jeopardize the scenery, son. Bruh, the beam 10 times your distance. Inclines convention. Stop rising with no trend line resistance. The parabolic breakout. I'm F-16 with the aeronautic fake out. God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer. That's who it is. The God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer.
Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's God Killer in the house. And I'm coming to do what I got to do. And I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Bobby banging this bitch. What's good, family? Man, top of the morning to you, man. We back and we here. And we always leveling up. Man, y'all know where to find the best knowledge is, man. The best critiques of the misinformation. Man, we ain't got time to worry about your feelings, man. I mean, we care. But we ain't got time to worry about it, man, because we put in this work, man. We talking about the level, man. You should always seek the level. You should always level up, man, in your life, right? In your work and what you're doing, man, in your jobs, man, whatever you're doing, man. You should always seek to be the best, man. Top notch all day long, man. And I understand that scientific literacy and financial literacy, man, is the key, man, to go ahead and allow you to put yourself where you need to be, man. You ain't running around here with the hip hop, flim, flam, bam, bam, boom, think you're going to trick somebody, man. The world around you has leveled up. They was leveled up when they came and got you with the intercontinental ships and the cannons. Small forces of Europeans was able to manipulate their way in. Not all the time guns are blazing, but just the way they did what they did. They even had you build your own forts, slave forts. Started out being trading posts, some kind of way it got manipulated to the fort. How do we go from a trading post to a fort? Always having a church for cross on top. Shout out to all the people that's been to West Africa, man, and checked out the slave forts, man. Why was we willing to build the forts? Man, I'd like to take y'all to a documentation real quick, man. Just a good book, man. Highly recommend it. By Dr. Bayat, man, The Life and Letters of Philip Kwaku, the first African Anglican missionary. Get the rock, get the work. Get the work. Yeah, man, scholarly letters and critiques, man. How was that possible? Because you wasn't ready. We was definitely the masters of the old world. That's for damn sure. So we don't like to dwell in the old world all the goddamn time. I think I got another scholarly work, man, that's going to help y'all in, man. You know, since the Portuguese and all that was really, it was dug in Africa, bro. Muslims, man, you got to read their records because they got it documented, man. There's one more work dealing with the Portuguese. Maybe I don't got it right here. But we got to use documentation, man, with all these flim-flamming, crazy what y'all want to call them, acting like they, I don't even know, man. It's just the whole thing is retarded, man. Acting like they not who they supposed to be, man. We gotta stop playing, man. You know, the make-believe world, man, don't really work. It's like when you play fighting and you get outside and somebody bang on your mouth, you realize the play fighting wasn't really it. You know what I'm saying? Slap boxing gets you ready a little bit better than that. We grew up slap boxing. You slap the hell out of somebody. Get that adrenaline and blood going, yo. Then you be trying to get out the way of the blows, man. Somebody can slap the hell out you. You know, now they call you stand there and let the person slap you in the face, you slapping back. We grew up slap boxing. You know, if you could master slap boxing, you could change that hand to this, same effect. Trust me, because we was throwing full power with the slap boxing. So all y'all fathers out there, man, yeah, I mean, and the sisters, man, when you train your kids to fight, man, train them with the slap boxing. They learn early, pow, but they can't do nothing with you. Ain't no smacking too hard, you end up getting locked up. They call the police on you, boy. Yeah, but so, yeah, hey, man, we do a lot of dwelling in what we did in our ancient past, man. And, you know, early on, I was thinking that probably was it too, but it ain't. You can't allow your history to become a weight, man. Because it'll wear you all the way down. It'll weight you down, man. And it'll hook on something, you be stuck. You look around you, everybody been grown up, man, and you be looking like you in sub-Saharan Africa, North Africa, somewhere back in the Stone Age, man. Crazy. We running around with all the beads and all the metals, the non-precious metals, and you got them from here to there, and you're in trouble. Not unless you just your costume and your plan and you take it all off and go to a tech company or something, then that's something different. Then you kind of know the difference there. But if you really, really, really think you're doing it like that, man, you got to relax, man. You're doing it. And if you got the funny hats on, I always tell you, we identify people with the funny hats. If you got the funny hat on, right, and they standing in front of you with the wild hat that they ain't wore since the Stone Age, yo, that's a cult. I'm giving you little easy cues here. Small things. I done seen it. Malachi York wore the funny hats. Polite, he can wear the funny hats. Who else we got? No, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say. I ain't seen him in the funny hat in a while. I'm gonna let him go. That's my man, Jabari. If you can't even crack a joke, you crack a joke with Jabari, man, then you a hater. I ain't mad. And the Moors with the hats like this. I remember Ali hats, all kind of. Telling you, man. Trust me when I tell you that. It's the funny hats, yo. We in North America, man. If you baseball cap or something like that, and then you can't be the guy that always wear a baseball cap. If they always wearing a baseball cap all the time, every time you see them, they tripping. Yeah, I'm saying, let them see you here regardless. Yeah. Something about the funny hats, dog, or over wearing a hat that just, I don't know, man. It's got to be a correlation there somewhere. So y'all see what the title is, man. What we learned in religion. What we didn't learn was what's the difference between spirituality. What was spirituality? What was religion? Here's the game they starting to play with y'all now, man. They starting to play this game where all of a sudden, you know, we ain't practicing religion. It's not a religion. We practice spirituality. They're joking. By the very measure of the word, by defining the word, they tripping. They tripping because you know you tripping. Like when you want to get out of Christianity, Islam, first of all, man, shout out to the community of skeptics, man. We in here, man. We are skeptical with what human beings are trying to tell us. The aliens are coming. The aliens are coming. We got some love in the chat, man. Ghana, I see you, man. Ain't funny. Professor X, my favorite sun gazer. What's up, shorty? The hip-hop skater. I see you, shorty. I'm subscribed to your page. Brother Rob, what it do, man? Roman Bear, what's going on with you, man? Rock, what's good? What's up, Reese? What's up, Bell? I see you, shorty. Good morning, Misha. Bell, good morning to you. That's right, Misha. We black and we proud all day long. And when I say I'm black and I'm proud, that's a political statement. Then you know that I know that you know that I know where the hell I came from and the trials and tribulations that we went through. We don't forget that. Bob, what's up? Gary Moore, what it do? 21215 in the building, yo. You know what it is, man. Rogers and Rice's town, man. Go ask about me, man. Park Heights, man. Y'all know what it is. Belvedere. Man, a lot of my friends lost their life on Belvedere, man. L Skin, what it do? Melanated Goddess. We got the Melanated Goddess in the damn house, man. Colorful names, man. Skinny Hair TV. Mungo Slade. Misha Bell, she hit me with the I like that shorty. Gary Moore, what it do? Hey, no diplomacy, man. Appreciate you, man. Human 2.0. I just want y'all to know when we going back and discourse on this panel, man, it ain't personal, it's just business, man. I'm gonna let you get your thing off, man. You know, it's the house of consciousness. You gotta get now. We's over there on the pseudo killers. We going live on the pseudo killers tonight. We don't be trying to use a short rope. But over here, man, we let you express yourself a little bit, man. I'm gonna sit here for a minute. I'm gonna let you do it. And then when you start, like, you repeat yourself once, I'm like, okay, maybe you're trying to emphasize. When you start doing it 2-3 times, it's time to get you out the game. Just for the record, man. All right. Get in block. What it do? Yeah, man, we got a full house coming up in here, man. Y'all know where y'all can find me at, man. J. Haru, man. L. Sandman. Y'all know where we at. We right here, man. So, yes, this conversation, man, is a high-level conversation. It always is, man. Listen, stop trying to act like you got out of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism to practice spirituality. Okay, it's the same thing. It's one and the same. Can't have one without the other. Let's see. In the definition and understanding of religion is always spirituality, right? In the definition of understanding spirituality, it's always religion. Spirituality is no one solid definition. Same with religion, okay? What I will tell you is that an atheist, right, ain't practicing a religion. Y'all always mess that up, right? You can be irreligious. There's African countries. There's thousands of people in Africa that are becoming irreligious. They're just not doing it no more. And you can kind of understand why. And if you study like I study, right, you can kind of see the progression. And I think got a book here to shoot you up with it. Wow. Yeah. How religion evolved and why it endures. Robert Dunbar. All right. So y'all got to know that early humans, all right, the naked apes. Oh, y'all don't like that. Right. I'm saying, man, they were spooky. Right. And circumstances kept them spooky, just like we spooky now. We all spooky. I'm not sleeping in the cemetery, and I know there ain't no damn ghosts. Spooky. It is what it is. I mean, if I had to, I would, but I mean, I probably sleep like this with one eye open or something, right? Anyway, it's just the way our mind is constructed. So, you know, when we start to talk about understanding the natural world, it becomes very counterintuitive. Like, you can't imagine that there's something surrounding you that's keeping you living, like oxygen. You can't see, touch, or smell it, but it's here. And science answers the question H2O, water, right? How vital is H2O? How vital is oxygen? Is oxygen a poison? You wouldn't just know that, right? That's counterintuitive. How can oxygen be a poison, right? How can most things on earth be a poison, right? Science answers these questions. Spirituality does not. Spirituality seeks to connect you to the invisible world. Religion seeks to galvanize you in the invisible world. Ladies and gentlemen, last time I checked, we live in the natural world. Now, you can believe what you want to believe. The problem with African Americans, Black Americans, and people of color is that we lead with our religion. Sometimes you have to sit back on it. So I'm just here. I'm not trying to take nothing from you. I just want you to sit back on it. Just sit back on it. Sit back and listen. And see how people act like that they're against Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, and see how they act like, well, we're against this color person, that color person, but yet end up doing all the things that the people that they talking about doing. You start talking about spirituality, man, we got to talk about the 70s where this thing would start to grow and be at its height. The age of Aquarius and all that nonsense, right? We did I started banging on them the other day. Manna Bavowski, Alistair Crowley. Yeah, that's the spiritualism when you mix all the symbols together. So if you sit in a class and it mixed all the symbols together, yo, you know you're in trouble. I'm telling you, if you sit in the class and the speaker's talking to you and they blip, blop, 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 and they got all the symbols, the Ankh with the swastika, with the Buddha, the Yoni, the beat, all that. Yeah, man. Yeah, you know you're in trouble. You know you need to get up out of there. All right. Right. Especially if you say you stand up for black people, because now you're in the middle of a new age ceremony. They're promoting new age. New age was trying to make a new science. New age was trying to mix and match and said of the sages of all the ages and all that. That's how we know Noble Drew Ali and them was all hooked up into the new age pseudoisms. So I'm the one to tell it. I got to be the one to tell it. I got to be the whistleblower. I got to blow the whistle on them. If I don't do it, who's going to do it? I got to step up and say it. Now, whether you think I'm making sense or not, that's based off your level of understanding. That's based off the good YouTube videos you watching. I ain't made nothing up, right? So let's start with religion first. Most of y'all have seen that. Most of y'all think y'all know, right? We're going to touch on a little history of atheism, man. And then I just want to hear, early in the game, I want to hear y'all opinion on what spirituality is. Watch, everybody going to have something different. There's no one way to be spiritual. All right, so we go right to the notes, right? Right to my favorite, Wikipedia. That's my favorite now. It's my go-to. Y'all got a problem with that? Good, get around it then. Nobody can get, they all talk crazy about it, but they can't get around it. Oh, Wikipedia, well, get around it then. Come on, man. Lord knows don't bring Botanica. It's going to say, basically, matter of fact, Botanica goes a little more in-depth. So, right here, yo. All right. Y'all want to start religion. All right. Let's see if this fits where y'all thought it was. Religion is a range of social cultural systems. So cultures develop religion. Okay. So you understand early on why the elders was trying to say, yo, you practicing religion that wasn't started by our culture. That's basically what they was trying to say, because it's a social cultural system. It includes designates behavior. So you act certain ways. Muslims, women dressed a certain way, certain behaviors. Christian women, certain behaviors is in the text. And practices, morals, beliefs, worldviews. So we see religions can be a part of your worldview. It helps shape and form your worldview. So you see what the elders was trying to say. They was trying to say, listen, we're practicing Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, man. This is not our worldview. This is basically what they were saying. You have sacred text. That's why people think the Bible is scripture. They say it's scripture, sacred text. But in actuality, anybody's culture can produce sacred texts. Sacred, sanctified places. You know what I'm saying? Like, what places are holy? Holy ground. What makes something holy? The culture gotta say it's holy. It could be a tree. It could be a sacred bush. It could be all these things. Human beings get to pick. By the time you got captured and brought to the new world, they had it all fixed in place for you and made you seem like you was a clown if you did anything of it different. But they all doing the same thing. They just talk it better. It's more organized in a book form, and they place the sacredness on it. We hear black people struggling, the black Hebrews struggling. That's why a lot of the black Hebrews are starting to act like they the Native Americans. They back and forth because they actually have no solid foundation. That's all I want to give y'all, man. I'm going to beat up your thing, and I'm going to give you a solid foundation. So even if you do stick with that, at least you got a solid foundation. Let me get back to this point. You got to know when to employ it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody done died, man, and it was close to you, man, you're going to grieve, right? You're going to go to funerals. That's part of religion. That's part of spirituality. I ain't asking you to be all scientific. Well, they did now. No, there's a relationship you have with that person. Science has no feelings. So I'm not asking y'all to run around here and not have no feelings. I'm saying you got to know when to apply your scientific literacy. We're not trying to be scientific literate at the film. Well, I'm not going to cry this long because it says that if you cry this long, come on, man. That's not what I'm asking of you. I'm saying be real, man. Prophecies. You got prophecies in religion. It's just that. In religion, the prophecy is a message that has been communicated to a person by a supernatural entity. Prediction in science, right, is based off of evidence to the point where you can predict what's going to happen. Totally different. Transcendental, ethics, organization that generally relate to humanity, supernatural, transcendental, and spiritual elements. See, there's spiritual elements. Spirituality has developed and expanded over time, and various meanings can be found alongside each other. Traditional spirituality referred to the religious processes to reformation, which aims to recover the original shape of man, orientated at the image of God. It's always God and religion. Elements. It say, although there is no scholarly consensus, it's that word, scholarly consensus. They definitely reached a consensus at the Cairo Symposium and the works leading from that symposium, leading up to now, and who the Nile Valley Africans was. Talk about that later. It say over what precisely constitute a religion. There's no scholarly consensus on it, ladies and gentlemen. So you can just start making up shit. Let's not get 2 cuss words a show. That's my one. Different religions may or may not contain various elements ranging from divine. You can make anything divine, anything either related to, denote, or proceeding from a deity. Sacredness, faith, and a supernatural being or beings, gods or God. The Western world has put emphasis these days on God. Go back in ancient times, the Western world put emphasis on the gods. Greece, Rome, Vikings, they had gods. Religious practices may include rituals, sermons, commemorations, and venerations. Deities, saints, sacrifices, whether you sacrificing people at the king's burial in early Nile Valley culture, or practicing festivals in West Africa, and feasts and trances, incantations, matrimonial and funeral services, weddings, right? Funerals, meditation, prayer, music, art, dance, public services. All these things can be included in your religion. Religions have sacred histories. So they got sacred histories. West Africa have sacred histories. They might not have written texts, but they have sacred histories. They have narratives. They have organization. They have sacred places and prophecies. But they talk crazy about traditional African religions. They talk crazy about indigenous religions in Australia. In different places. South America. Mesoamerica. They talk crazy about it. Now, like they got religion, they don't. That's not true. Religion is a mix and match of these different things, which may be preserved in sacred texts. Maybe, don't mean it got to. Symbols, holy places, symbols. So this new age religion, they mix all the symbols. I'm going to show you. That primarily aim to give life meaning. So if you need, so if religions give life meaning, and religions are cultural containers of ideas, if religions are social systems, right, seek to give meaning to life, then you're basically saying that religion is a snapshot through the eyes of the people in a geographical area that's trying to give meaning to life based off of what they have done and based what has been passed down over the generations. So these religions have geography, Islam, Deities have geography. Christianity, Judaism, they have geography. They have elders. They have deities. They have elders, deities. They have divine things that they have glorified and made the God. So we basically talking about, you can identify a people's religion by their deity, because their deity and their religion will put you in the geographical region. And this is easy work. We can get right on the map and do it. I don't even gotta tell you, if I start talking about Islam and Christianity, you immediately run to the Middle East. They're Middle Eastern religions. If I say the Vikings, then you know where you at. Religions may contain symbolic tales that may attempt to explain the origin of life. That's the point. For 350,000 years or so, human beings was explaining the origin of life through mythology. A creation myth or cosmic myth is a type of cosmology, a symbolic narrative of how the world began and how people first came to inhabit it. While in popular usage, the term myth often refers to false or factual stories. Man, y'all don't want to hear that. And this how I know y'all don't really want to hear that. Because when I try to give you the natural explanation of human beings and life on planet Earth and why it's so diversified, and I say the question, why is life on Earth so diversified? And I give you the explanation, biological evolution is the explanation for why life on Earth is so diversified but yet connected. And y'all want to run right back to the myth. Why was that? I get it. It's already ingrained in your brain. That's why you fight it so hard. That's why the Dulcineas of the world and all the pseudos of the world, they fight so hard, man, because the myth is ingrained in you. You know, I'm waking you up. You said you want the consciousness, but you definitely unconscious to science. And so we make you conscious and you fight the thing, but you got it already. You got it naturally. You don't got science natural. Science wasn't made natural. Science explains the natural, but trust me, to the human brain, Homo sapiens sapien, science ain't natural, man. You struggle with that. So it's a struggle, right? And in your struggle, you pick an object to hate or dislike. And of course, that's me, because I'm the guy that's pushing it. Yo, you trying to take us down with the white people. Yo, you trying to make us white. Africans believed. We're going to find out how much Africans believed. Man, listen. Don't hate me, hate the game. The game made me. Origin of life, the universe, and the phenomenon. Where we at? Some followers believe these to be true stories. Y'all absolutely do. Now, y'all, look, let me watch this. I can paste this out for y'all. Look, I'm a good guy, man. Can paste it out for y'all, man. I know exactly where y'all at. When y'all start saying we spiritual, all right, you walking away from religion, but you just ran right back into the thing you was running from. And I'm going to show this today. As soon as I give y'all the definition of spirituality, you're going to realize that you walked out the back door, right into the front door of the very thing you was running from. And then you're a little salty about people who just say, yo, I'm leaving the house and I'm going to make that immediate right. I ain't going into another door. Now, we do this because of fear and ignorance. We're ignorant of the fact that spirituality ain't nothing but one of the items contained in the damn religion. It's just one of the items. It's funny. Followers believe these to be true. Traditionally, both faith and reason have been considered a source of religious beliefs. There you go. It say there's estimated 10,000 distinct religions. Why y'all think, y'all just pick one. Yeah, actually, some of y'all just one God away from being a non-believer. Just one God away. Some of y'all 5 gods away. Through nearly all of them have regionally based, relatively small followers. 4 religions, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, account for 77% of the world's population, and 92% of the world either follows one of those 4 religions or ideologies as non-religious, meaning that the remaining 9,000 faiths account for 8% of the population combined. It says the religiously unaffiliated demographic includes those who do not identify with any particular religion, atheists and agnostic. Agnosticism is a view or belief that the existence of God or a divine or the supernatural is unknown or unknowable. Watch this. It can be categorized as indifference or absence of firm belief in theistic or religious, and atheism on that basis. There you go. Y'all know what an atheist is. In the broadest sense, is the absence of belief in the existence of deities. Less broadly, atheism is a rejection of the belief that any deities exist. There you go. So this is where we fall at. We just stop right here. We ain't got to go further than that. I think this is a good one to wake y'all up and just get y'all going. All right. And for the record, man, Buddhism could definitely be considered an atheistic religion too. For the record, because they actually have no deity. You become the Buddha. All right. Spiritual. I'm going to drop the link. Spirituality. And the meaning, spirituality has developed and expanded over time. Yeah. And various meanings can be found alongside each other. Traditionally, spirituality refers to a religious process of reformation which aims to recover the original shape of man, orientated at the image of God. So whenever you saying you practice spirituality, you trying to get back to the originated shape of man in the image of God, y'all. Oh, that's just whatever. As exemplified by the founders of sacred texts and religious world. There you go. The term was used within early Christianity to refer to the life originated towards the Holy Spirit. Yeah, see, y'all running towards the Holy Spirit and didn't even know it. And broadened during the late Middle Ages to include mental aspects of life. And that includes supernatural stuff, personal growth, meaning, all kind of experience, all that. Inner dimensions, and look, one's own inner dimension, whatever. The term spirit means emanating a vital principle in man and animals. Y'all want to separate yourself from the animals, so y'all ain't spiritual. Let me stop. Oh man, yo. Yeah, it's funny when you start to read, yo, you can help. Man, listen, man, you can strengthen your mind up, man. I'm just feeding you. I'm feeding your brain right now. Y'all can go deep into it. A lot of sources right here. McCullen, McConnor, Carson and King, Cohen, Cobb. There is no widely agreed on definition for spirituality today. Spiritual dimensions is deeply subjective. And there is no authoritative definition on spirituality. Right. So they ran y'all into a spot where you can't even pin it down, yo. And that's when it becomes dangerous. You got to be able to pin things down sometime, yo. So there we go. We done did that. Let's get to this part. This is my favorite thing right here, man. Morality, right? The man of character, proper behavior. is the differentiation of intentions, decisions, and actions between those that are distinguished as proper, right, and those that are improper. Morality can be a body of standards or principles derived from a code of conduct, y'all. Rules, outletting the norms, rules, responsibilities, of proper practices, individual partly or an organization, party or organization, from a particular philosophy. So your moral code can come from particular philosophy. It can also come from religion or a culture. Most times we think that your morality has to be tied to your religion. That's a bunch of nonsense. And we went into what religion was, and that's why I did it that way. And even when they show you pictures of religion, right, they promote what? Their own religion. Why not? You're supposed to do that. But I just want to make sure y'all know that your moral code does not have to come from religion or God. It can come from philosophy. It can come from a culture. You can develop a culture. I think we're developing a strong culture over here. Or it can derive from a standard of a person believes should be universal. They say morality may also be specifically synonymous with goodness or righteousness. There you go. Hold on. I try to be around like 3:30. Yeah. So there we go. So we do not need God for our morality. We don't need religion for our morality. It could be a personal thing that you develop at your house, at your home, your family, your community. So we just bust that up. And I think this is important, man. Like if you don't got that right, then it's going to be all messed up. How much time we at? Like to rock that for, oh man, I'm okay. I got 3 more minutes on this. I'm gonna open it up. So we already talked about what atheism is, right? Y'all know I did this to go to Indian philosophy in the East, contemplative life, not centered on the idea of deities, began in the 6th century BCE. The rise of Jainism, Buddhism, and various sects of Hinduism in India and Taoism in China. All right. Deities are not seen as necessary to the Slavic goal, to the salvic goal of the early Buddhist traditions. That's not it. Oh man, is it in the car? Go in the car. Inside the thing. Here go the key. And bring it back. All right, so y'all didn't even know that. Y'all didn't know that Buddhism and all that is kind of like atheistic. They don't got no deities. They don't believe in a God. Can be, they can mix it. They got all, like I like Zen Buddhism. Read up on Zen Buddhism. All right. It says their reality is explicitly questioned, talking about the gods. Deities are not seen as necessary in the salvic, talking about like salvation goal of the early Buddhist traditions. Their reality is explicitly questioned and often rejected. Y'all didn't even know that. That's why you'll find people, they more comfortable with practicing Buddhism because they ain't got to be shuffled into some wild god. That's why I like Zen Buddhism. All right. That might be something for y'all to do. You might be able to find some traditional African systems that don't even deal with God. It might just honor the ancestors. What you can't do is you can't run around here and act like you got something that's super slick. You can't do that. And try and apply it to your daily life on things that require you to understand the daggone thing. All right. So there, Jainism, Buddhism. While Buddhism tradition does not deny existence of supernatural beings. You find it? Hold on 1 second. 1 second, y'all. Here you go. Take money to have children, boy. You just cannot have them without no money. Don't have no kids if you ain't got no money to take care of them. Travesty. Worst thing you ever could do. Bananas. All right. Okay, so it's a Buddhism tradition do not deny the existence of supernatural beings. Many are discussed in Buddhism scripture. It does not subscribe powers in the typical Western sense for creation, salvation, or judgment to the gods. However, praying to enlightened deities is sometimes seen as leading to some degree of spiritual merit. Okay. Higher realms accept existence of beings in higher realms, devas. All right, here you go. We always talk about how ancient Nile Valley culture affected Greece and Rome, but we never talk about how. And I always maintain that pantheism is soft atheism, because pantheism says the gods are all natural, they're in nature. The Greek gods, where do the Greek gods live at? They don't live in the supernatural world. They live on Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus is on the earth. Y'all didn't even think about that, did y'all? So the Greek gods live on earth. You just can't get there. Mount Olympus can't get to the top, right? Y'all, I swear I know y'all ain't thinking that. So, historically, in Western antiquity, hey, yo, that's Western antiquity. Come on, man. Atheism was the fundamental belief that supported, theism. The fundamental belief that supported the legitimacy of the state. So, yo, imagine coming with something that was against the gods. Imagine how that would look. Same way in Africa. Right now, you got people strung up for not believing. This has happened through time. So the atheists never got a chance to write their story. They started writing their story in classical antiquity, in Western classical antiquity. But I wonder what the stories would have been if they was writing in West Africa. I guarantee you, man, human beings are human beings. You're gonna get most believe and a lot that don't. And a lot that's scared to say they don't believe. And something's gonna stand up regardless because they're strong enough to handle it. Y'all act like not believing is a European thing. I hear it all the time. Let me drop this link though. See if anybody want to add to the discussion because we get in and out of here. I ain't trying to take nobody God. I'm just explaining what most people don't want to explain, yo. Joe Armstrong got 151,000 in the building, man. That's a good point right there. Shout out to the mighty Cedric. Unlike atheism, religion is introduced to you after birth. You are born an atheist and become or get indoctrinated into religion. That's a fact. No getting around that. Pseudo killer official. Evidence against, laugh out loud. That's irrational claims require evidence or it's irrelevant. And no evidence against required. Jimmy Smith. Wisdom is the capacity of the mind that allows us to understand life from God's perspective. Throughout the book, the Proverbs, Solomon encouraged us to get wisdom. Jimmy Smith, you're in trouble. Jimmy in trouble, yo. Why is Jimmy in trouble? Watch this, Jimmy. Wisdom is the capacity of the mind to allow us to understand life from God's perspective. Now watch this. We know the only perspective that God actually have is the perspective that the human beings in that geographical area gave to God. Because God ain't wrote no books. Human beings wrote the books. And if we're all being honest to ourselves, right? Man said that God said that. God didn't say that. Man wrote that God said that. God didn't write that. Man wrote that. Most y'all can't get past that. If we're honest with ourselves, right? The beginning of all the thoughts of God come from the thoughts of men. Well, God made us. Yeah, man said that. Man said God made us. Wait a minute, your thoughts are of God because man said that. Why y'all think God has all human attributes? Why do you think the aliens got all human attributes? Hello? Anyway, you just trying to be too smart. Oh man, easy work, man. OFP LLC, Allah's name can be found. All right, let me see where y'all at. God's perspective is man perspective. The great scientist speaks out. Here we go. Allah's name can be found written in nature. You are incorrect in your teachings. Hey, hit the link, yo. We want to see. We want to see where it's written at, yo. We want to make sure God ain't misspelled it, yo. He might have misspelled it. Make sure he wrote in a universal script where everybody could look at it and see it. Yeah, tripping. Listen, man. I keep telling you, I ain't trying to beat up y'all religion like that. I am the God killer, though. Just for moments like this, because why would God's name be written in nature and not written in our brain? We would all say the same thing. Why is it left up to the interpretation of man? You say it's Allah's name, I say it's the birds. Or stick that was broke. Come on, man. Stop it. So we right here, we talking about people like to always bash me with that's a white boy thing not to believe. No, that's a human thing. That's a human thing to believe. And there's a human thing to question what a person taught you to believe. Trust me. That's what helps humans grow because they question the things and the beliefs. Historically, a person who did not believe in any deity supported by the state was fair game of accusations of atheism. All right. So, Christianity, although Christianity is definitely supported by the state because they get tax exemptions. Islam is supported by the state, like the clergy, because you can get tax exemptions. All right. All right. So we right here. Hold on. Then watch this. It's a capital crime. Fair game of accusation of atheism, a capital crime. Yeah, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. Remember they was enslaved in prison or chased out the country. Plato was killed them, murdered them. Charges of atheism, meaning any subversion of religion, right, were often used similarly to charges of heresy and impiety as a political tool to eliminate their enemies. The early Christians were widely reviled as atheists. So Christians was called atheists because they did not participate in the cults of of Greco-Rome gods. It say during the Roman Empire, Christians were executed for their rejection of the pagan deities in general and imperial cult of ancient Rome in particular. When Christianity became the Roman state religion under Theodosius I, in 381, heresy became punishable offense. Philosophy. This is important. This led us to science. Where did philosophy come from? You can find a lot of the philosophical ideas stemming from Kemet and other parts of ancient world, not just Africa. Hey, you gotta mute out. You gotta mute out. You gotta mute that out. Let me finish up. Let the people on. Let them speak their mind real quick. You don't want to hear me all day. So the roots of Western philosophy began in Greek world in the 6th century. It say the first Hellenistic philosophers were not atheists, but they attempted to explain the world in terms of the processes of the of nature instead of mythological accounts. This is all way back in the 6th century BCE. I'm trying to bring y'all up to this point. Don't get mad at me. Right? So the first people that were trying to explain the world based off of natural processes, man. All right. Y'all can know how that went. Wait a minute. It was Zeus that made thunder and lightning. No, you're an atheist. So it was through philosophy that people started to be called atheists because they was trying to give natural explanations of the world. So thus lightning was a result of wind breaking out and parting the clouds, and earthquakes occurred when the earth was considerably altered by heating and cooling. The early philosophers often was criticized traditional religious notions. What's going on, sis? What's up with you, Miss Proper? TT, what's good with you?
Mr. Banger.
How you doing? What's good?
Greetings.
How you feeling?
Greetings, everybody.
What's on your mind?
Well, I was wanting to say that words are very important. And our words come from, let me turn this down. Hold on.
You doubling that?
Okay. Remember, words come from Greek. So we know that they come from, them. And so
words? You mean words?
Yeah, a lot of words come from, the people who made these words for us to learn.
Okay.
So the words, even names, places, they all come from them. A lot of them.
You mean what we actually using now in Western culture?
Today. Yes,
Okay.
That's what I mean. Thank you.
That. I like that with you.
And so what we have to do is dissect these words so that we can get a better understanding, and that will help us to unify as a people.
Okay.
Because we all have so many differences, and we know this, and that's what we fight about. Okay. And so once we, understand where these words are coming from, and they are putting spells on us to say them. Like, let me give you a good example. The word world is one of their words. And whenever we say world, that means that we're helping them with that word, helping their one word order. And so we got to understand the words that we're saying, and help each other to grow out of this craziness that we're in.
Okay.
Called bondage.
All right. So look, I ain't want to break out, start laughing.
No,
let's go. Hold on. All right. Let me think. So basically, words, you have definitions to them and can actually cause you to react a certain way. So with that, it's almost like words can actually control a person's behavior, like because you react to it. So I kind of get what you're saying right there. And you're basically saying that the words that we're using is kind of controlling us in a certain mode of thinking. So let me ask you then, what would you call spirituality in your own mindset, not using none of their words? How would you feel that the culture that we came from, what you thought they meant about spirituality? Let's do it that way for you.
Okay. Spirituality, for me, spirituality is a connection that we're born with to God. Everybody, you know how back in the day they would say, hey, you got to have your own relationship with God. Well, our relationship comes with spirituality and having faith. And because faith comes by hearing God's words. We could say all day and read these books and this and that, but faith comes by hearing God's words. He can drop something to us today and it's not in the book. You understand? So we have to know that spirituality is like a connection, like internet, like TV, like things that we can't see, but it's here. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on that. And then the definition I put in the chat. It's hold on. What did I put? I just wrote it. I just got it out the thing. Hold on.
Okay, what you got for me? See if she can get herself out of it. See what she can do.
Okay.
See where
This
you
is
at.
the book
Let me
I'm
clean my
going
glass
to.
out. Let me see this.
This
Let
is
me
my
see.
book.
Let me see if you
This
get
is
yourself.
Reader's Digest Great Encyclopedia Dictionary.
Who made that? Is that white people made that?
Yeah. Remember, we're still in bondage as a people. It's a systematic bondage that we don't understand, until we start to really come together. We're going to see that it's a bondage, and it's one word order bondage.
I thought you were going to bring like an ancient Mayan text or ancient South African text. You brought the
No,
you just said you putting yourself in a spell right now.
No. See,
okay, go ahead.
See, this is 1966, and I'm gonna look up spiritual. Okay, so give me a moment.
Boy, you rolling?
Okay. And how are you doing today?
I'm in the game, man. I'm just wanting to educate the people so they don't put themselves in a spell.
That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just wanting to make sure y'all got
that spelling.
Oh, the spelling. Oh, you hitting with the spelling. Come on.
Spelling because
man. Was you ever Nubian?
No. Well, I can say Nubian. Is that African?
Nope.
What is Nubian?
It was a cult.
Oh no cult. I can tell you I was a Baptist, I was a Rasta.
Okay.
And I was almost a Muslim, but I was like,
where you at now? Where you at now? You on the Bobby Banger show. Where you at?
Right now, it's no religion, and it's totally connected to God. And today, I call God Jehovah. I was calling him Yahweh, and before that, I was calling him Jesus. So today, I am calling him Jehovah.
You on a hell of a tour, yo. And you know what?
We all are though.
Tour, shorty.
We all are, cause I think about how you think we come from monkeys and apes. That's a hell of a that's something else. So
you say it's what?
That's something else. So it's deep out here because whatever we're taught, we go on. And we think that it's it until God shows us something. Till God shows us truth.
Hey, look! Look! You just woke me up on that. That was a good one, though. You was like,
hey, all of it's good.
You like, man, that's something else, man. You say we come from. I never said we come from monkeys, though.
Oh, where you say we come from?
I never say we came from apes. I say, man, there's an ape. It's a great ape.
Okay, so we apes,
right?
And that's what to me, that's what our enemies always call us: monkeys, apes.
They did,
and so
right. So how do we work that? Think about that. So they did
take out the lies.
Huh?
We have to take out the lies. We have to use uncommon sense, not common sense, because everything common comes from them. Common wealth, common this, common that. We must understand that they do serve an evil God, and we must understand that, because I thought America was built on Jesus Christ, and it's not.
It's not.
When they put that hand on that Bible, they serving another God, not Jesus Christ, and it all plays out because of their actions and everyday doing. Look at reparations; they won't give us that. They won't give us, our people, anything.
Yeah, it's just this. You have a very interesting conversation here. I see you're trying to grow as a human being. Else you just wouldn't keep moving like that. What would it take? Do you consider yourself a natural person? Do you think you're a natural person? You think being natural is the best course of action for humans? What you think?
Yes, I believe that we must go back to the simple form of living. So natural is the best.
Sure.
and
sure.
Now, this is what I'm saying, what I believe right at this moment.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Because things change. When I was, I'm going to tell you a big thing that happened to me when I was going around confessing Jehovah to everybody.
You're still doing Jehovah right now, though.
Yeah, but I left him. I left him and went to Yahweh because I started looking and seeing, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it could be Yahweh, until I found out it's not Yahweh. But let me go back to
You
saying
say
that
your way?
Yahweh.
Who ways?
You're right.
Yahoo!
That's a good one. But let me tell you, it affected my
Yahweh,
family.
man. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. It affected my family in a negative way, because they were starting to hear me with Jehovah. And then when I switched over and said Yahweh, it like lost them.
You talking about your family?
I saw, yes.
You got kids?
I had a son. He was killed at the CAD Medical Hospital in 2018.
Oh man, damn.
He's 27, because they have a club called 27 Club where they killing folks, especially ours.
Oh my goodness.
At the hospital. See, it's a lot we don't know because they keep things hidden. That's why we got to stay relevant, and we got to stay transparent, because in order to grow our people, we must know truth, because whatever we know is gonna be how we live. So
let me say this. Sorry to hear that about your son. That's a travesty.
Yes.
Now, you spoke of being natural, and I think I can help you reach that goal if you just pay attention. So, what tool do you think is best fit to study the natural so that you can incorporate it into your life? So far, you're saying Yahweh, to certain deities, certain religious way of thinking. You're thinking that's going to get you there. But if we really break it down to spirituality and religion, they're really thinking about the supernatural, outside of the natural. But you said you want to be more connected to the natural, right? So the best tool to connect you to the natural, or at least help you understand it, would be science, because that's all science is. Science is the explanation of the natural world. Help you navigate the world, because once you understand the world and where you at, right, then you can make proper determination, proper decisions making. So I'm not saying don't be this and don't be that. I'm simply saying I'm trying to give you a tool to help you along your way as you transition, right, to a healthy individual. Not saying you're unhealthy, but we all have a certain unhealthiness because we stray away from wanting to really, just deal with this thing, man. When I was in rehab, right, the thing that kept us stuck on drugs, is that we was always pushing away reality. We would not admit that we was very faulty in what we was doing. We wouldn't admit that we really had a problem. And it's not until I admitted that, I love doing that shit, man. Once I realized that I love doing that, then I could make a determination that, man, but the pain and the anguish that I'm causing myself and my mother and my father and the people around me, I start to realize it wasn't worth it, right? So I would have to be honest with myself. So if we all honest with ourselves, we need to understand the world we live in a little bit better, so we won't be going through these types of things, so we won't make mistakes based off what we think something is, what is not. So for me, I offer you, sis, just the tool of science. That doesn't mean you have to stop believing. It doesn't mean that. I'm saying if you truly want to be natural, then work towards understanding the natural world. Let me go to the next caller though real quick though. Where you at, Gideon Block? What's up? Miss your turn.
Who, me?
Yeah, you can go. What's up?
Okay, hey.
How you doing, sis?
I'm good. I've been watching y'all for a few weeks. I'm glad I discovered your channel. Because it's good to hear like Black people talk about this kind of stuff, Okay. I used to identify as a Christian.
Okay.
But then it was like, it's kind of like you slowly move away from it. It's kind of like, well, okay, I'm a Christian. Then it's like, okay, well, some things in the Bible don't make sense. And then it's like, well, you know what I mean?
Right.
And as of right now, I am not Christian, but I believe I'm agnostic. I think I'm agnostic. I was listening to an audiobook by, I think it was Thomas Paine a couple years ago, and it's called The Age of Reason. Are you familiar?
Good one. Yep.
Yeah. So I was wondering, my question basically is, what are your thoughts on deism?
Theism?
Deism. Like that we have a creator, but he just doesn't involve it just doesn't involve itself in our existence or like intervene.
Okay, so that's like a lot of traditional African spiritual systems claim that you can't get you the creator, right? That it doesn't, work in our lives, right? It's outside of that scope. It's just religion for me. It's just just human beings' idea on things, located in the supernatural world. I put that all in the same place. It's just an idea. It's a human idea and a human concept for me.
So is that because it can't be proven? Like, because can it be ruled out though?
Well, that's why you're agnostic. I'm saying God got to come holler at me firsthand.
I hear
and
you.
The fact that you outside it and you don't even think you need to, involve yourself with me, that's enough for me to say, all right, that's like a person. If you got a person supposed to be a friend, but they feel like they never got to be in your life, then how is that your friend? I only know you my friend based off our interactions. So I would only know you was God based off your interactions. In a sense, it almost sounds like a cop out for human beings because they know they ain't really seen God. So some people reason that with, hey, you know what? I ain't seen God. I can't talk to him. So he just must be somewhere out there and he not in our lives. Right. I'm not reasoning that away. I'm saying it ain't in our life because it ain't in our life. That's my humble opinion. And no, you can't measure it because it's outside of nature. And that's where your mind got to work for you. It's going to work for you or against you. It's based off how you feel. Some people can't handle that, right? Some people think, they stop believing and things going to go wrong for them. We make all kind of wild connections with, you know what I'm saying? Well, damn, I lost some money. That's because I stopped believing. All this stuff going to play tricks on you. When in reality, man, we need to be more stable as a community. And the way you be more stable is understand the daggone community. The community is safely fixed in the natural world. So yeah, I don't go for all that. It's a trick for me.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you. Stick around. Glad you came in. And yeah, that's definitely soft atheism, though. Just for the record, agnosticism. That's soft atheism.
Gotcha.
It's all good. You gotta be where you comfortable at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wonder if I will end up at atheism, because somebody did tell me that like agnosticism is just like one of the steps on the way to atheism. But I'll see. I just actually downloaded the sample of that book you showed a little while ago. What was it? Religion, how it why it endures and all that. So I will check that out. Right now I'm reading The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe or something like that. So yeah. I do want to learn all I can and just come to a reasonable conclusion. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe you won't come to a reasonable conclusion. Maybe that'll be your plight for your whole life. People switch back and forth. Man, I don't understand how you switch back from believing not to believe and go back into it. But I just think I think you're doing a good job of good study. And I think that's healthy to challenge your beliefs. That's going to make you a better person when you challenge your beliefs. And for me, it just made me, by me not believing in a God, it made me understand other people's culture. So I broke away from thinking it was the God and understood as an all human idea, based in humans, what they perceive to be their reality is how they see the world. And so I respect cultural nuances across the board. So I'm not saying you're going to die if you don't believe, you're not going to go to heaven if you don't believe in this and that and the other. I can just see the beauty of culture that developed these ideas. That just helped me to realize that I'm the source, right, of what I need to teach my kids. So, you might not be, don't force yourself to be numb. Just study. We're here to learn. At the end of the day, we're here to learn who we are and what we are. We humans ask the question since time immemorial. Where the hell are we? That's why we go to space and figure out where are we at in space. We ask the question. Where are we in Earth? We ask the question. So you're just asking the age-old question. I think that's good. So whether you end up being a full-blown atheist or not, man, it's just about, just learning where you at, man, and applying that stuff.
And one more thing I wanted to mention, or just that I've been thinking of recently. Sometimes I wonder, like, is it that there is no God? Is it that there is no religion or God, or is it that like we haven't discovered it yet? You know what I mean? As far as like other people who are believers, is something speaking to them on a deeper level that we're not open to? You know what I mean? I wonder about that. Like anything, like I'm not, there's no specific God that I believe in, or like I know, some other pseudo things like, crystals and things like that. I have an aunt that's into like she has like I'm not sure what you call it, but she'll set up something for like the African deities and pray to them, and she brings offerings to our ancestors and things like that. But I wonder, like, is it that something is speaking to them on a level that like I'm not open to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it does sound pseudo, but I do wonder, like, is it because I'm just not like receptive to it? You know?
It's called ignorance. Ignorance to talk to you every day, boy. We ain't talking to no dead people. Ignorance of no understanding what death actually is, or have you thinking that somebody can come back and talk to you? So you good. I mean, like me, as soon as God come back and say, look, check this out, Bobby Banger. I'm like, oh, I'm with you then. That's good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, all that. The dead people ain't came back. My mother, I love my mother and my father. They both gone. Right. And actually, let me see. It's not a voice that speaks to you. It's just the lessons and the relationship I had with them that speak to me. Right. The things that I do in my life, I say, nah, my mother and them wouldn't want me to act that way. You know what I'm saying? Like when I get to cutting up on here sometimes, I realize, I couldn't do that in front of my mother. Let me chill. Right. So I try to, that helped me balance. But I know that's it. Right. And I know that she left her genes. My mother, my father left their genes in me, and I've have transferred them right to my babies, and my babies will transfer the genes. So it was actually in the genes. Right. Life for human beings is transference of genes. So it's in the genes, and some of my mannerisms would have came from my grandfather. Right. So we are our ancestors. Right. Scientifically speaking, that we have bits and pieces of genetic material that help us be exactly who we are based off our ancestry. So the genes is doing the work. So for me, I don't need the voice. It's in the genes. That's the scientific explanation of why these certain hand gestures. Maybe my great-great-granddad did that. Right? Maybe, my voice, my tonage, man. We see it all the time. Like, boy, look just like your grandfather. I look at my son, I'm like, damn, man, like my damn father. Dark skin like my father. My damn daughter, I say, damn, she like my mother. So whenever I look at her, I be saying my damn mother. It's wild. So did my mother really go anywhere? Right? Did she actually go anywhere? Well, I can see the result. I can see her genes, certain mannerisms.
Now that you mentioned that, I do want to say one more thing. I want to take up like the whole panel. Like maybe 2 years ago, I had like an existential crisis, and it made me really.
What is that? Explain
that. It's when you just start thinking about. Well, I don't want to like define it incorrectly, but I believe it's when you start thinking about like your own mortality and your purpose in the world, and just it's kind of like that was when it's crazy because it kind of started when I have a friend of mine, a dear friend. She kind of got sucked into what is that stuff called? Jehovah's Witnesses.
And that's the cult.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, she was telling me about it, and it was like as she was like, we were doing the Bible study or whatever, but as we were doing it, I'm like, this shit is like, it's not logical. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the conclusions that they draw, you can't say things like that. And I'm like, okay, well, no, this is why this doesn't make sense. This is why this kind of thinking is dangerous, blah, blah. So anyway, she's still cordial to me, but it's like, it's not the same. You know what I mean? You know how that is, but that's actually ironically, that's kind of what made me more agnostic instead of Christian. Not what she did or whatever, but just the fact that I started thinking about all that critically, by having it placed in front of me, because before it was kind of a thing that I pushed to the back of my mind. But I do wonder if other people that are agnostic or people that are atheists, does it scare you to think that like one day you'll no longer exist? You know what I mean? Like, does that keep you up at night? Or, when you think about it, like, wow, like billions of years from now, there will be nothing of you left as far as your consciousness, you know what I mean? If that's the case, you know, because I mean, I don't know. But how did you come to terms with that?
Shoot, man, I think for an atheist, we recognize where the rubber meets the road. That every day is a potential for your ass to be dead.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And it's done, it's over with. So why not enjoy the relationships? That's why I do the show, because I enjoy the relationship with the people. I enjoy talking to them, giving them sources and references that help aid in the process, man, of reaching the level. So yeah, that's it. Once you die, that's it. That's why you got to live this thing. That's why you got to have experiences, right? And you make your own experiences. How about that? You have to be very creative. Your purpose. You're not born with a purpose. You're not. I came to earth with purpose. No, you make your own purpose. You can figure out what you want to do, because in a minute, that's it. That's it. All you got left, if you got some kids, they're gonna take that genetic material, right? And hopefully they valuable offspring and they make it to the point where they can reproduce kids, right? So you give them good morals, right? You give them a good snapshot of the world and how you felt. I know for me, being as though I know when it's over with, you know, I made sure when I go out, they got some land, right? Some insurance, right? And, you know how to balance a checkbook, all that stuff. Look, dog, in a minute, you're going to be the one. So, hey, I'm gone, right? I'm gone. And that's it. And so I do this, right? So that long after I'm dead, y'all can pull me back up and say, okay, that's what he was thinking about. Like we look at John Henry Clark and them. So yeah, I think the difference between a religious person and an atheist, we realize your ass is, that's it. With the Christian, he still wants to keep living. He don't want to die. He doesn't accept his death. Matter of fact, it's a natural thing not to accept your death. You know that, right? Humans can't even envision their own death for real.
Right.
Yeah, you can't. You never think you're gonna die, and the younger you are, the less you think you're gonna die. That's why them kids, they don't even fear death out there shooting each other. They don't think they're gonna die, and they get clipped, and that's it, and it's over with. And the parents are left to bury you. So yeah, as an atheist, I realize, and the older you get, you realize you walking closer to the thing any damn way.
Yeah.
Right. You don't remember being born. You
Right.
remember dying. That's it. Yeah.
So
Hey, can I interject real quick? Not to cut you off, sister. But that's exactly why you have existential crisis.
Right.
Because it's a crisis of existence. That's all it is. So you start thinking about, oh, damn, when it's gonna be my turn. You know what I mean? You see people dying around you, and you be like, damn, could that have happened to me? You know what I mean? And the older you get, like you said, Bobby, the older you get, the more you think about it. You know what I mean?
And
so yeah.
And not just like ourselves, but like people that we've lost, you know, like, you know, like for instance, I was doing my genealogical research, and my grandfather on my dad's side that died before I was born, you know, I see his features in my dad and my family. I see his features in my little brother. And I'm just thinking like, so I'm never going to get to know, you know, this man, you know what I mean? Or like, or like a girl I knew, our grandparents their houses were next to each other, but she died of breast cancer at 33. And I'm like, wow, is that all? Like, that's it? You know what I mean? And I know her family thinks they're going to see her again. And it's like, I want to believe that they will, because how was that fair? You know, how was that right? Like, how can we cope with that? Or like, I think about somebody like Tupac, you know, they got killed at the age of 25, and he had a beautiful mind. You know what I mean? Like, just a beautiful person. It just hurts, you know what I mean? But
it sure does. I get it, because my son was killed at 27.
Yeah.
And I can truly speak on it. And I'm gonna let y'all know this story too. Out of all my living, I'm 52 years old. Out of all my living, I've only heard from God one time audibly.
What did he sound like?
He was strong. His voice was, and it was loud, because at that moment, I'm sorry?
It was a man.
Yeah, it was a man.
Suppose it was the devil.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, let me tell you.
It wasn't the devil.
Listen. Because at that moment that it happened, it was like I had to make a quick decision to know that it's him or not. And when I did it, it was crazy. But I then, I'm gonna let you know this too. This was in 2020. I then contacted Sarnetta to try to put it out there because it was like, wow, I can't believe this has happened to me. Like God spoke to me. And let me tell you what he said. He said, don't call 911. And he told me that he got me, right? I called Sarnetta so that I can put it out there on a platform somewhere. But it didn't work out that way in 2020.
Put it out here. Put it out here right now, sis. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just did.
I know. Don't say it too loud. They're gonna come lock you up. They're gonna put you in the
It doesn't matter because I fear no man. That's how
I like that. I like that. I like that mode of thinking.
God, I fear no man. So therefore, I'm able to live my life freely and not with freedom, because freedom, Edom is on the end of freedom, which is white people. They took our free and put Edom on the end of it. So when we say words like freedom, that's how it goes. But look, they killed my son in my face. And I know what happened. Nobody can tell me that didn't happen to me.
So what happened when your son got sick? What was this?
Yeah, to me, someone drugged my son.
No, I mean, how he get you to the hospital?
Yeah, we took him to the hospital because he was sick from that. And so they gave him a pill. They gave him a couple of, I'm sorry?
He was sick from what?
Somebody drugged him. Do you hear me?
Oh, somebody drugged your son?
Drugging. Yeah, they're out here drugging people.
One of his friends?
I'm not sure. We don't know. People who had stuff don't want to tell you that it's them, evil people. They're not going to tell you that they did this to you. And then when we took him to the hospital, they gave him medicine, sent him home. It didn't work. Took him back to the hospital. They said he was going to be there 2 to 3 days. He was there a month and 1 day. And they disfigured my son's look. They did everything. It was crazy that I had to take him out that hospital. I tried to take him down to Grady. But of course, if you ain't got the proper insurance and stuff, they don't want you. So they sent me to the Decatur, their mother house, and they did him even worse. So he was there for like 2 weeks, and the other place like 2 weeks. It was crazy. So I know when I'm speaking from the heart. And let me tell you this too.
Yeah, because we coming to the end of it. Go ahead.
Yeah. To me, all cliques. I don't care what kind of clique it is. Care what kind of clique. Politics, science, sororities, fraternities, it doesn't matter. Our cliques are not good for us. Our God wants us to connect to him spiritually like a computer. We don't need any cliques. We don't need to do any kind of crazy things to let our God know we with him. He knows it. He made us. When he formed us, he made us with a connection to him that nobody can break. But with all these lies of words and things like that.
Question.
What?
Are you preaching?
What's that?
Are you preaching right now? It seems like you.
I could be. You know what I'm saying? I could be. I'm a very talented young lady. You gonna get
the Holy Ghost on an atheist show?
I'm a very talented young lady.
Damn Holy Ghost in the middle of the morning show, man. Get out of here.
So I got a few skills, packed around my truth.
Let me move. Let me break you out of that mode. Hey, the truest, what's up? You got something for us, or you just chilling?
Well, y'all have a good one. I'm out.
All right, sis, go ahead. You got the Holy Ghost up in here, boy.
Hey, not the Holy Ghost.
I want us to be enslaved in America.
This real shit right here.
Oh man, sure, that was funny.
But all that other stuff is fake. Y'all got to keep it real.
Got you.
We don't need no connection, but with God. We don't need to join no cliques. No cliques, religions, all that, science, politics, all that stuff are cliques. And they want you to stay so that you cannot involve our people.
The views and opinions is not shared with the call at this point, but we gotta let her get her voice out there.
I know these words are powerful. I know you want to go on. You let other people speak long, but when it comes to the truth, people don't want to hear it.
Right,
it's real shit.
This we're gonna do.
It's real stuff.
Hold on, this is what I want you to do.
What?
Right? And come back and say, Bobby Banger, you did give me way more time than you probably should have. Go back and look at the show and see who talked the longest on this show. Out of all the callers, I gave you that, sis. I ain't even bang on you. I don't believe none of that stuff you said. I didn't even bang. I let you have your voice because I feel like that maybe your voice will permeate with somebody, right? I know it don't with me. I be thinking it's crazy. I got to hear. I heard you express the pain in losing your son, and I'm thinking maybe that's the real reason you came on here. That somebody can at least hear the pain that you had for your son. And I'm thinking, you know, I heard that. And that's what I took out your message, man, is that, man, you got a chance to get that off your damn chest. And Bobby Banger was listening. Appreciate you, sis, man. Holla at you later. Come back next time.
That's what's up.
All right. Coco Kitty 7. That's how you say your name?
It's Choco Kitty. Yeah.
Coco.
But,
Choco.
yeah, you gotta pin the link. You know what I mean? When you drop it, you could pin it some kind of way.
Oh,
because the comments keep going, and then like
I can't pin the link on this. I probably gotta do it for another thing. You want to finish talking? Would you finish?
Yeah. So I think that's why people cling to like you said, the Christian is scared to die. The Christian doesn't want to accept that death. People I feel like, we talk about evolution and all that. Like, for instance, my cat, I don't think she thinks about what's going to, she doesn't think about where she came from, where she's going. You know what I mean? It's not something that's bothering her existence, but we've got to the point, intellectually where we think about those things. And it scares us. And, I think that's where religion comes from. But a question kind of just popped up in my head earlier when we were talking, but we're going to continue, assuming we continue as a species, right? Which sometimes I don't know how long we're going to continue as a species, just because of things being really volatile and people having a larger and larger capacity to cause mass destruction. You know what I mean? I don't know. But let's just say hypothetically, we continue on for thousands and millions more years, right? And we become more and more intelligent and self-aware and things like that. So what do you think this is going? Is there going to be a point where we have evolved intellectually to the point where we can't bear the weight of our existence? You know what I mean? Like antinatalism, you know what I mean?
I think we already there as far as what we already, come on. Think about, I think we already there as far as being aware of our existence completely. We might not know everything about the human body. We barely know about the ocean and the universe and all that, but we are definitely aware of where the hell we at. That's for damn sure. We are. We're not lost, right? We know who we are. We understand the organism. We know, I tell you what we do know, that 99% of all living organisms have went extinct. So we ain't on no different path than any other living organism. Right now we're in the 1%. Yeah. Ancient humans have all perished.
But I mean, do you think we're going to come to a point where, because I feel like those two things are in opposition, right?
What?
Our intelligence and the fact that we can't control our mortality, right? So it's kind of like we were okay with it when we weren't intelligent enough to ponder our mortality and our existence and desire immortality. But once we get to the point where we are even more knowledgeable and self-aware, what do you think that's going to do to us?
I tell you, I think we always ask that question, sis.
Will we want to continue?
We just try to figure out ways to beat the mortality.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Homo sapiens is just as intelligent now as they was back then.
Yeah, but I think religion, we're going to get to a point where we're not going to be entertaining that anymore. So then what will
that'll never happen.
Will be? You don't think so? I think so.
No, because it's in the brain. It's a Stone Age brain. It's mechanisms at play. I always say this: a human being will never make the mistake in calling a human a shadow, but would always make the mistake in calling a shadow a human. Is in there. If you upstairs, right, and something crashed through the window late at night, you're gonna go get your gun before you go downstairs. because you're gonna believe it's somebody coming in the house. You're not gonna think, oh, the tree fell in the house. If you're walking down the path and a little mouse run and ruffle, you're gonna jump. You're not gonna stand there and wait and see. Oh, that's just a little mouse. That's nothing. Already there, right? Our ancestors, God and honest, those who moved quickly at the movement of certain items in bushes, and not just stand there and question what the hell that is, live longer, right? To push their genes to the next generation. But if you just stood there looking at the grass move, oh, that's the grass just moving. That is just the wind. And the damn tiger jumped out and ate your ass up. Then those people didn't make it to the age of reproduction, or didn't make it to the point where they could pass their genes on. So our Stone Age brain is still in play. We spooky. And you can see it in the baseball game. Baseball players, before they take a bat, before they go hit, they do all this with the gloves and all in, tap the plate, bing, bing, swing and miss. Then they go back and do it, bing, bing, bing. Then you might get a hit, you might not. Why do they do this? Because things that we fail at the most, we're most superstitious, very superstitious, right? And so batters will try to do the same things to produce the results. I got a hit last time I did the ha. So let me do it again. So why don't they do that when they go out in the field in the baseball game? Because baseball players don't fail. They rarely have errors. So they don't go out in the field and do all this before they make a catch. Yeah, we're very superstitious. Simple as that. And it's part of our genetic programming. It's in our genes, and that ain't going nowhere. We will always believe. That's why you can look at a commercial, sis, and your mouth water up when you see certain foods or certain drinks that you drink. Why is that? Because it's ancient. We needed certain sugars, right? We had to be motivated. So we would thirst for these type of things, to look for them, to find them. There's motivation behind it. So yeah, we're gonna always believe. Even now, atheists. Now, how many atheists want to sleep in a daggone funeral home? Think about that. You don't believe in ghosts and all that, right? So what I'm telling you is that religion actually co-opted these natural mechanisms. It's natural to believe. What we doing? We had to fix. It took 350,000 years to start to think the way to really start to separate that and start to look at nature. That's why, you know what I'm saying, I said it's counterintuitive.
But that's why I think it'll continue, though. That's why I think we will get to a point where religion is, is obsolete, and it would be too much going on where we can't, nobody is gonna be able to support that,
Man, listen. As long as you got human beings scamming and can make money off your beliefs, it ain't going nowhere. It ain't. Hey, Ghana, you want to say something? Because we about to get out of here, man.
Yeah. I want to just make one little quick point.
All right, go ahead. I know it ain't gonna be quick, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, no, that was on the idea of when you were saying science and spirituality.
Right.
African spirituality is science. It's like it doesn't separate the two.
God.
That was the problem.
In some of the ways you could see that, it's even like if you would look at it something like, I know you're familiar with, like Kemet. You look at the deities in Kemet, and you look at why they chose particular deities. You'll understand that they're actually studying the animals that they choose, which is science. They look at it, they study the world around them, and decide what's going to be their totem or what they're going to hold as their deity. You know what I mean? So that demonstrates science right there. It demonstrates a people that are paying close attention to the world around them, which is the definition. Also, of course, practicing.
American dream.
What's that?
I'm just go ahead, keep talking. I'm just shouting out people in chat. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that was pretty much it. That they're pretty much it's the same thing. You know what I mean? When you were saying Buddhism and most African spirituality is pretty much the same thing. That they fall under the category of animism, which is synonymous with the word spirituality, which is also synonymous with your name, Ankh. It's all life. Or it all means life.
So what I would answer you is that was the problem. For 350,000 years or so, humans couldn't separate their beliefs.
What do you mean? No, well, science has come around now, and that's why you have quantum physics, and science realizes that there are supernatural.
Nah, that's pseudo.
They go against the laws that go quantum physics. Go against the laws of the universe. That's what it is. It doesn't follow the laws of the universe.
No, I'm not arguing with you on that.
I know.
So certain rules break down in the quantum world, like the observer effect, meaning these particles are so small that the very light itself is a particle. It interacts with the other particles. We know this. It has nothing to do with consciousness. That's people flim flam and bim bam, and they actually try to sell that to you.
No, I didn't
so
say
what the point I would like to make is that was the issue, that we couldn't make the separation. European nations start to make that separation. It was a long, hard fight. Like if I was to ask you, is biological and human evolution, is that legitimate?
Yes. I'm not sure why you're taking over the question.
I'm asking the question. I'm saying, so you agree with Charles Darwin, biological human evolution?
I mean, yeah, the idea of human evolution is not new. It's not Charles Darwin.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, the idea of human evolution is old, very old, and yes.
Nah, man, nope. Talking about Charles Darwin. Come on, man, you dancing?
I'm not dancing. I said,
do you agree with it?
What want me to say? What other word?
Yes or no? I guess I agree with it. It's proper, or you don't.
Yes, I keep saying yes. I'm
okay. So then, if you agree with it, then why you always fight so hard against it?
I don't fight against that.
What do you fight against?
When you show a map that's a racist map that doesn't make sense. There's a skin map that Charles Darwin came up with. Like that's ridiculous. You know, obviously the place on that he has as native white, like that doesn't make sense. They're not native like that.
Man, Darwin didn't come up with no. I don't even know what you're talking
about. He came up with a skin map.
Hey man, look, I appreciate everybody coming through. We got that portion where I ain't gonna be able to do it, man. That man fight against every
we let the quacks take over the show. I had legitimate questions.
You got a question? What's your question? No, I called them. I was gone.
Here we go with the same shit every show. Like, well, I don't even understand why you get like that. I'm just trying to speak with you, and we just
because y'all come in here with y'all religious.
You get real mad. It's not religious.
I'm not mad, yo. I'm just not trying to hear that. You're lying now. You act like you agree, but you don't agree.
Scientifically, I just explained to you. You can look up the definition of science. You know what I'm saying?
Man, okay, let somebody else speak.
And then look at the practice of spirituality. It's the observation of the world around you. It is. You know what I mean?
Okay, appreciate it. The truest, what's up?
What's gonna be short?
Peace, brother. Damn, I'm gonna cut down what I wanted to say to a third of it. So you mentioned when you were talking about philosophy and theology earlier, you was mentioning Buddhism, and as most people don't know, you were explaining it a little. There's different denominations of it. Theravada Buddhism deals more with the Hinduism ties to it. Like when you mentioned the Devas have their roots in Hinduism. But when we're talking about like Zen Buddhism or Tibetan Buddhism, they're very atheistic or just straight up atheist, like you mentioned. I just wanted to post in the back real fast, if you could, because I'm on my phone, I can't pull anything up. If you could just pull this source up real quick. It deals with my fault. I think I fell off.
No, you here?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Put the source in there.
Yeah. It deals with yeah, hold on.
Hey, make sure y'all hit that Cash App, man. Appreciate that love, man. Let me see what we got, man. We got Alexandra, man. Appreciate you. That's love, man. We got Tahep Haru. Appreciate you, man. Young. That's love right there, man. Queenie, man. Appreciate you. Hey, that's love right there. Appreciate you. How you say it? Choco.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I appreciate you. That's love right there. Choco.
All right. So there it goes. I was able to post it now.
All right. Let me see. I got it.
Yeah, I was able to post it now. It's dealing with the Buddhist perspective on creation.
Okay.
On how they believe the universe was created. And I believe this is more so from the Zen and Tibetan perspective, from like the atheistic Buddhist perspective. And I wanted to ask you, when you read this and you see how it's described, right? You can clearly see there's no deities involved. There's no gods involved. They deny the Big Bang, but there is a creative process. And they are arguing consciousness and intelligence in the universe. So could this pathology or theology be seen as an intelligent design argument that does not include a deity? And also is Tibetan Buddhism a religion that doesn't require a deity?
I'm not sure, but I think Buddhism in general, I haven't read enough of the Tibetan Buddhism, I'm not sure. But what I will tell you, all that shit right there is wrong. Just for the record, man. I'm
an atheist. Man. Yeah, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any of this shit.
No. Yeah, but I'm saying from a scientific perspective, it's wrong. We can't measure certain things. We can't quantify it. It's that their whole paper is subjective. We seek to find the objective, ladies and gentlemen. Look, man, calling earlier tomorrow, man. We can get this discussion, and I appreciate you, bro. When I catch you on the other shows, I'll be confused. I'll be like, where the hell is he at? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, nah. So let me tell you.
I'm
real
trying
fast.
to like. Yo, stop playing.
Yeah.
Yo, go ahead and embrace.
Let me.
Yeah.
What? I'm a philosophy major.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm an atheist.
Hold on. Let me help you out. Go ahead, yo, and embrace science, yo. Keep your philosophy. Make sure people know when you philosophizing and when you talking scientific. I think that's a murky line you play right there.
No. What I'm trying to do, I'm picking the brains. I like picking the brains of other atheists because I like to see how much other atheists really believe in what they believe, or are you just anti-Christian? Are you just anti-Islam? Or do you actually? Or do you? Well, based off of what you showed today, you have knowledge of other theological systems. So I can't say you just only hate the Abrahamic faith. But when I see what most atheists in this community, the only religion they know about is the Bible. So I'm like, how are you even a true atheist when you haven't even studied what the opposition's position is? And that's why I make the argument with intelligent design, because I think people don't actually look at it enough to truly have a position against.
I looked at it. I couldn't, man. I know it was very subjective. Hey, man, look, yo, listen. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We here, man. We're gonna be in the morning time, man. I appreciate everybody came through. Man, make sure y'all hit them cash apps, man, out the door, man. We really need that. And we just appreciate everybody that's coming through this in the morning times, man. Very successful build, man. Shout out to all the pseudo killers, man. We definitely going live on the pseudo killers, man. We appreciate the intelligent panel, man. Even you, Ghana. We appreciate what you bring to the game, man. At the end of the day, man, we here as human beings, man, to make the world a better place for our babies, man. We stand to protect our communities, our ideas, our ideology, man. We seek to do this to understand the natural world. The best way I found to understand the natural world, since we are natural people, man, is through science, man. Scientific literacy, man, raises the level of the community, man. It helps you in decision making, man. It helps you to understand exactly what your civic duty are. We had some beautiful sisters came on, man. Hope y'all come back through, man, and continue to express yourself, man. This is definitely a sister-friendly platform, man. We appreciate the voices, man. We will learn not to talk over each other, man. Look, this is what we doing, man. Man, go over there and subscribe to the Pseudo Killers. We going live tonight, 8 o'clock sharp, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Appreciate everybody. The morning time show, man. Man, this your host, man, Bobby Banger, man, a.k.a. God Killer, man. Been around for a while. I've seen a lot coming. I've seen a lot of go, man. Man, y'all know what it is, man. Real smooth in the morning, man. What we got to do, doing what we got to do, man. Stand strong on this, man. We ain't running. Talk about religion tomorrow, man. We here. Get your morning dose before you go to work, man. Don't be beating the people up at work, either, man. Y'all know they ain't ready for this conversation. It's a conversation, ladies and gentlemen, man. Get that cash app, man. We see the Pseudo Killer. We see Unscripted Momentum in the building, man. Sakina Rock, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate the way you think. I see you, Reese. City, I see you. Contrarian thinking, man. Yeah, Jesus loves me so much that he won't come talk to me. Y'all know what it is, man. Jimmy Smith, I see you, man. What's up, Reese? Appreciate everybody that's working in the behalf, man, of understanding the world, man. I see you, the goddess. Gemini. Unscrambled minds, man. Man, Community of Skeptics, man, is live and kicking it. Y'all know what it is, man. Staying right where we gotta stay, man. All over the world, man. We banging.